Hello Arsenal fans, welcome back to the channel and remember to make subscribe. Let's drive in. Here we go. In recent months, one of the more high-profile transfer stories emerging from Ireland involves Victor Ozianvuna, a young versatile footballer currently with Shamrock Rovers in the League of Ireland Premier Division. An agreement has been reached whereby Ozianvuna will join Arsenal in January 2027 when he turns 18. This move, while still pending his eligibility, marks a significant milestone for the player, for both clubs, and for Irish football more broadly. What follows is an exploration of his background, the terms of the deal, the regulatory constraints, expectations, potential challenges, and what this could mean going forward. Background. Who is Victor Ozianvuna? Victor Ozianvuna is a promising young talent who has come through the academy of Shamrock Rovers, having joined them at the age of 6. During 2025, at 16 years of age, he began to make inroads into senior football, appearing for Shamrock Rovers in the League of Ireland Premier Division, making his debut earlier in the year. He also featured in European competition, specifically the UEFA Conference League, becoming one of the youngest players from Ireland to do so. His first senior goal came in the FA Cup in a match against Wexford FC during the summer of 2025. In terms of his playing style, Ozianvuna is versatile. He has operated in several attacking positions, including on the wings or possibly centrally. This flexibility adds to his appeal as a young prospect. He has also represented the Republic of Ireland at youth levels, under 15, under 17, etc., marking him out as someone already in the national youth setups. The deal: Arsenal's pre-contract and its terms. In October 2025, the agreement between Shamrock Rovers and Arsenal was officially confirmed. Victor Ozianvuna will make the move to Arsenal in January 2027 when he turns 18. Until then, he will remain with Shamrock Rovers. The transfer fee is reported to be at least €2 million, with possibilities of increase via add-on clauses, plus a substantial sell-on clause. The contract that Ozianvuna is expected to sign with Arsenal is for 4.5 years, beginning once he officially joins them in January 2027. Shamrock Rovers have described the deal as a landmark transfer in Irish football, a template for the development of top young football talent in the country. It is being viewed as setting a standard for how promising young players in Ireland can make transitions to larger, wealthier academies abroad. Regulatory and timing constraints. One of the critical reasons for the deferred move, i.e. that Ozianvuna remains at Shamrock Rovers until he is 18, is Brexit-related regulations and rules governing transfers of minors. Because of changes in the legal framework, players from Ireland, i.e. the Republic, cannot move to UK clubs before 18 under certain conditions. Given this, although Arsenal and Rovers have reached the agreement and a pre-contract is in place, Ozianvuna's official registration with Arsenal cannot begin until January 2027. This sort of arrangement, pre-contract, delayed move, is becoming more common in similar cases involving young prospects across Europe, where transfer rules restrict early moves. Significance: why this matters for Ozianvuna himself. Development. Staying in Shamrock Rovers for the intervening period allows him to continue getting game time, to mature physically and mentally in a familiar environment, rather than making an early but possibly premature jump. This can be beneficial for long-term development. Exposure. Playing senior football in Ireland, including European fixtures, gives him competitive exposure, helping him build experience, confidence, and readiness before moving to a more demanding environment. Stability. Remaining in Ireland until 18 reduces upheaval and may allow a smoother transition when the time comes, as he will have had time to develop under progressive expectations and preparation. For Shamrock Rovers and the League of Ireland financial rewards, €2 million plus add-ons and a sell-on clause represents a significant figure for a League of Ireland club. It provides resources that can be reinvested in facilities, youth development, coaching, etc. Reputation boost. The deal underscores that Irish academies, like Shamrock Rovers, can produce talent that attracts top Premier League clubs, enhancing credibility. It can help in recruiting and retaining young talent domestically. Precedent/template. As Rovers have said, this may serve as a model for how to manage the path of high-potential youth players, balancing immediate exposure and development locally, while planning for eventual transfer to bigger clubs once regulations allow. For Arsenal investment in potential, Arsenal are known for investing in youth and building for the future. Getting a promising 16-year-old whose development they can monitor, tailor and guide fits with their model. Mitigating risk. By delaying the actual move until regulatory age, Arsenal reduce risks associated with early transfers, e.g. adaptation, legal issues, youth exploitation concerns. They also avoid pushing a player into an environment before he is ready. Long-term planning. The 4.5-year contract gives Arsenal an extended period in which to develop, integrate or loan him with potential returns, either through performance in the first team or via future transfers. For Irish football more broadly, youth pathways. This helps strengthen the pathways for youth talent in Ireland. Clubs, scouts and parents can see that staying in the League of Ireland, establishing oneself locally, can lead to top-level opportunities. It counters the notion that moving abroad very early is always the best or only route. Economic effects. The influx of larger fees adds to what clubs can do locally, investing in youth academies, infrastructure, coaching, and possibly increasing competitiveness of the domestic league. Raising standards. With top clubs paying attention, local clubs may push to raise coaching standards, facilities, sports science, etc., to produce players who can compete at higher levels. Potential challenges and considerations. Despite all the positives, there are several risks and challenges that accompany such a deal. Pressure and expectations. As soon as a young player becomes a record transfer or labelled one to watch, there are high expectations. Mental resilience is required. Not all promising talents reach their potential, especially under high expectations. Transition period. Moving from Irish senior football to a Premier League club's academy, or reserves, or youth structure, is a big jump in intensity, competition, and standard. How well Ojianvuna adapts physically, tactically, socially, will matter greatly. Game time. At Arsenal, first-team opportunities are harder to come by. There is always the possibility of being loaned out, or playing primarily in youth reserve sides for some time. Managing this well is crucial so as not to lose momentum. Injury. As with all athletes, injuries can derail development. The period before he joins Arsenal is vital for remaining fit, avoiding long layoffs. Regulatory or logistical risks. Even with pre-contracts, things can change. Change of managers, policy, or other unforeseen, legal, regulatory hurdles. Ensuring that the contract is robust is important. Broader context. Comparisons and records. This deal sets a new benchmark for transfers from the League of Ireland. The most recent comparable young player deal was Mason Melia, who moved from St Patrick's Athletic to Tottenham Hotspur under similar circumstances. However, Ojianvuna's fee is reported to surpass that case. Arsenal's identification of the player is not entirely new. Reportedly, they have been monitoring him for some time. Youth tournaments, academy matches, etc. There was even medical involvement or visits earlier. What or how this move might unfold. To anticipate how things might proceed between now and January 2027 and afterwards, here is a possible scenario. 1. Continued development at Shamrock Rovers, mid-2025 to January 2027. More senior appearances in domestic league, cup games, maybe more European competition. Growth in physicality, understanding of tactical systems, mental maturity, perhaps leadership roles, or more visibility in Ireland's youth national teams. 2. Preparation for the move. Arsenal's academy likely to track his progress closely, arranging visits, providing guidance, maybe setting performance targets as part of add-on clauses. Shamrock Rovers may plan his development programme to ensure he is ready for the demands of English Premier League football. Transfer in January 2027. Official registration at Arsenal. Likely settling into the academy/youth teams initially. Possible loan moves later, depending on his speed of development and Arsenal's plans. Integration into first team might be long-term, possibly 2 to 3 years depending on how he matures. Outcomes. If all goes well, he becomes a regular in Arsenal's youth reserve squads, possibly breaks into first team. If not, he still will have benefited from high-quality coaching, exposure, and might be moved on to another club for game time. The agreement for Victor Osimhen to join Arsenal in January 2027, when he turns 18, is more than just the next move in a young player's career. It represents a shift in how top-level clubs, Irish academies and young talents manage transitions across borders. Through careful negotiation, regulatory compliance and planning, this move offers a route that balances exposure, game time and development. For Osimhen, it's an opportunity to continue growing in a supportive environment before stepping onto a much larger stage. For Shamrock Rovers and Irish football, it's validation that local development can lead to top-level recognition, and that this recognition can bring concrete benefits. Here we go. And that's the full story behind Arsenal's exciting agreement to sign Victor Osimhen from Shamrock Rovers, a young star with huge potential and a bright future ahead. This move marks another big moment for the League of Ireland and shows how Arsenal continue to invest in the next generation of football talent. What do you think, Gooners? Will Osimhen become the next big name under Mikel Arteta's youth project? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on every Arsenal transfer, training news and match analysis, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, legends. See you in the next video, and as always, come on you Gunners. Red circle, white circle fire.